Factsverse presents the Top 10 Scariest Places in the World. Number 10. The Abandoned Coal Washing Plant. Known as La Verrerie de Charbon in French, the abandoned French coal washing plant is simply out of this world. Designed for the purpose of processing and washing coal that was produced in area mines and cycled through this industrial park, it had experienced a fire years ago, leaving behind a metallic skeletal remain that defies logic. Incredibly dirty, any person who enters has to throw their clothes away due to the smell. A death trap by any stretch of the imagination, the coal washing plant is an incredibly scary place to be lost in. Number 9. The Abandoned Gulliver's Travel Park. Childhood is often a time of discovery, excitement, and innocence. With places specially dedicated to kids, we associate some objects and things like adventure or theme parks with them. When these places begin to fall into disrepair, like with the abandoned Gulliver's Travel Park in Japan, truly unsettling places are created. In fact, the abandoned Gulliver's Travel Park in Japan takes this a step further. Gulliver's travels are all about an individual exploring the unknown and coming across large and small things alike. Because of this, the park is filled with imagery and objects that are wildly blown out of proportion. Number 8. The Murny Diamond Mine. Diamond mining is incredibly challenging. Despite theoretically high levels of diamonds in the crust, they are typically at depths that are far beyond our ability to reach with modern technology. When they are a little closer to the surface, we find ways to get to them. With this in mind, the Murny Diamond Mine represents our attempt to find and extract diamonds. When all was said and done, it was the second largest open-pit mine in the world. Murny Diamond Mine is an inactive mine in Siberia that is completely open. What makes it among the scariest places on the planet is that it is a circular hole that delves more than 1,700 feet. It has a diameter of about 3,900 feet as well, making it massive. When viewed from the air, it looks like a massive hellmouth just waiting to eat everything that comes. The hole creates powerful downward currents that suck nearby helicopters in, killing their crew. When viewing from the side, the Murny Diamond Mine looks like a massive, endless hole into the center of the Earth. When looking down, all you see is blackness for more than 1,000 feet. Number 7. The Red Sands Sea Forts. The Red Sands Sea Forts are located in the River Thames and exist to spy and report on enemy fleet movement during World War II. The first line of defense against an imminent attack, those on the Red Sands Sea Forts had the grave task of reporting an attack they would probably not survive. Abandoned and remaining in place to this day, the Red Sands Sea Forts are eerie testaments to our past. The Red Sands Sea Forts rise from the water like rotting monsters. Raised in the air by metal supports that look like spindly legs, the Red Sands Sea Forts are ominous sentinels. Habitats for squatters and recluses alike, the Red Sands Sea Forts are all but forgotten. Number 6. Xichang Underwater City. When conjuring a city coming from out of the depths, we often consider Atlantis or other fabled cities that have been lost to time and find themselves beneath the waves. In China, there are cities and villages that have been lost, caused by natural disaster as well as economical expansion and renewal. These underwater habitats remain eerie vestiges of those places we once called home. Structures more than 400 years in age are still relatively intact, and divers are constantly finding new things. Among it all, however, are the discarded relics of the past, haunting to any person who views them today. Whether you see it in pictures or explore it firsthand, there is a haunting quality about the place that makes it one of the scariest places on the planet. Number 5. The Sanzhi UFO Houses. Constructed in New Taipei City, Taiwan in 1978, the Sanzhi UFO Houses were a bold move towards an experimental pod-shaped architecture. Quickly becoming a ghost town after being considered cursed, the Sanzhi UFO Houses remained for decades as derelict reminders of a failed architectural plan. This increased its popularity as an unofficial tourist destination, which also led to more accidents and deaths over time. Eventually, the Sanzhi UFO Houses were bulldozed in 2008, leaving behind piles of rubble and broken architecture. Number 4. The Power Plant IM. Built as the largest coal-burning power plant in all of Belgium, the Power Plant IM has fallen into disrepair. Since its construction in 1921, the Power Plant IM has a haunting architecture that combines massive industrial machines with brick-and-mortar construction. The end result is this abandoned landscape in vast expanses of interior and exterior space that defy imagination. Domed ceilings overlook pits and holes that disappear into the darkness. Number 3. The Willard Asylum. The Willard Asylum for the Chronic Insane stands as a testament to the terrible practices that occurred in some mental institutions up until the past few decades. Located in upstate New York, the Willard Asylum has been abandoned for a long time, creating an additional look of neglect. Old pieces of furniture, medical equipment, and even suitcases abandoned when the place was closed are strewn about. The atmosphere that the Willard Asylum has is among the creepiest in the world. Number 2. The Orpheum Auditorium. Beloved by a few and forgotten by most, the Orpheum Auditorium stands today as an abandoned auditorium and theater space in New Bedford, Massachusetts. With construction finishing on the date that the Titanic sunk, it would remain in operational use until the late 1950s, when it was closed down for good. With no work done to it since then, the Orpheum Auditorium remains as a haunting space that is incredible to see. Number 1. Christ of the Abyss. Created as part of an art exhibit in 1965, 3 statues of Christ were sunk to the bottom of the Mediterranean Sea. Copies were made, and one was sunk off the coasts of Florida. Massive in scale, they tower over any person scuba diving around them and remain utterly surreal when surrounded by the whiteness of the ocean floor. Subscribe for more.